space is a place for us.
Real people with real issues.
Discussing real topics.
Black space.
A safe space for our community.
Because men are not quick to jump ship.
But here's the thing, he was with her for 6 years before he married her. So what was she doing in the 6 years prior to you getting
Trying
married,
to get the ring.
Reggie?
She was all right. When she started nursing school, she had a child before we got together. And then 2 years into our relationship, 2008, we had a child together. At the time, I had a great job at Verizon. So I told her, said, don't go to work. I'll pay your bills. I'll pay my bills. You work, you finish school. 2 years went by, she finished school. Another 2 years went by, she still went and get a job. I just kept paying the bills and doing what I had to do to improve myself and to provide for the family. But it eventually got to a point where I resented her. I left New York City to come up here to Albany, which I already told you I hate. And I would just be out here just looking at come home from work and look in the microwave, and there's no food in the microwave. Look in the fridge, there's no food in the fridge. I'm like, yo, what are you doing?
Did she not know how to cook, or was she signing a message or something? Or?
She know how to cook.
But so it sounds like she just, definitely checked out.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it's one thing to be lazy, you know what I mean? But it's another thing to not even try to please your man.
Yep.
And you're providing, you're telling her, hey, you do this, I got you. And then she doesn't step up to the plate and get you back. That sucks.
We went to marriage counseling, and even though it didn't work, there was something that I took from it that made a lot of sense. The counselor said that everybody loves differently. It's like ski. You show love by bringing home the bacon, by keeping a clean house, by taking the kids to the park, and yada, yada, yada. Your wife, she shows love by kisses and hugs and stuff like that.
Like affection.
So, yeah. So I said, well, that's kind of like a chicken, like what comes first, the chicken or the egg type of situation, because if I come home and there's no food on the table,
there ain't no kissing and hugging.
Dirty, I don't want to kiss and hug.
You don't want to kiss you? Yeah. I ain't got no dinner. You want to kiss? You better get away from me.
I'm gonna be candid here. The last 6 months of our relationship,
You get none.
I ain't want none. I ain't want none. Because I'm gonna mess around and get you pregnant again. It
really sucks. Because really what we want, right, Reggie, we want to be valued, right? And it's not just what women want, that's what men want too. We want to be valued. And that doesn't really show that you're valuing me when I'm saying, hey, I got you. What about you getting me?
Well, so let me jump in. And I want to pick with Janelle a little bit. She said with the twist, this whole and as well as you, Tara. So you both said that you want a man to be hands-on, right? And so my pushback to that, because I hear that in these dating streets, right? I hear that they want a provider, they want a man that leads, the prayer leader, the provider, the protector, and I got to be hands-on. So my ask, right, is what do I get in? If I'm giving all of that, what do I get in return? Janelle.
That's probably PG rated, but
we're about to jump into Kevin Samuels territory right now.
PG-13, but that answer to that. But
that shouldn't even be included. That shouldn't even be included in what I get in return, because that's standard, right? That should be standard.
Is it?
Right?
It's not standard if you don't like the person because they're not living up to what, like Reggie said. He didn't even.
Now we're talking about marriage here. If you don't like somebody, you shouldn't be marrying them or dating.
No, but I'm saying that he was saying that it was hard for him to get to the lovemaking part or the kissing and hugging because he didn't even have dinner. So it's not automatic.
Well, okay, that was a negative progression in their relationship. We're talking about normal relationships. If you're meeting somebody, you shouldn't be dating somebody and definitely not talking marriage to somebody that you're not physically attracted to. So the sex piece should be automatic in a relationship. That when I hear that, and that's pretty much all I hear. It's like, well, if you're gonna go out and work and earn a living, I'm gonna put it down to you every night. Well, okay, okay, and what else? Outside of the 17 and a half minutes of the hot and nasty, what else do you bring to the
17
table?
and a half?
I'm being facetious, y'all. I'm being facetious. Janelle, what else? If you
17.5.
Let's go back to this twist. Let's go back to this twist in your requirements. Right? I want to know more about this twist. Tell me about this twist.
Well, the twist is like, if I'm a working woman as well and I'm taking care of the kids, I'm not the only one who sat down and made the kid. Like, you can help with a bath, you can help with preparing a meal, like you can help out. It's not like I'm just bearing all your children. I'm still working, I'm contributing financially to the household, and you can't help give the baby a bath. Like, just because you're a provider doesn't mean you can't be hands-on.
Okay, so the bath making and stuff that kind of fades out at about age 4, 5?
Yeah, but some men don't even do it like from birth.
Okay, all right, fair enough. But I'm saying once we phase past the hands-on stage, because the reality is once they become school age, kids are pretty independent.
Right.
What else am I required to do as the husband to the modern woman with a twist?
Help with the dishes. Just help wash my drawers occasionally. I'm just like, honestly, there's times where I ask my husband to do a load of wash for me because I don't have time to do it. Like, wash my car, help me wash my car. You know what I'm saying? Just like simple things that women like we normally would do for ourselves, but sometimes we don't have time in a day. We just need help. You know what I mean?
Angie, you look like you chopping at the bit down there. You want to? You got something to say?
No, I'm just listening. I agree with what Janelle is saying. My husband, he helps me. So I don't know. When I asked him to help me, he may not do it right away, but he'll get to it. It doesn't feel like burdensome to him when I ask him to do something. And I feel like we're in a partnership. We are supposed to help each other. I don't think it should be burdensome, and I look at me as the helpmate. So whenever he needs help, I help him, and he helps me whenever I need that help. So it's not like I'm burdening, him because I'm asking him to do something for me. We love each other, so we're gonna help each other out.
That's how it should be.
Yeah.
I feel like Penny is going to be this pilot, right? And he's going to be working all the time. So he's like, I'm not going to come home and wash your drawers. I'm not going to come home and wash them dishes. And I'm not
When I was a lobbyist, I didn't do all of that. I didn't have time to do all of that.
And that he'll just have to find somebody.
You want a wife, right? You want a wife. So what do you want to do? Right. But you want to just come home to a clean house and a meal?
So yes, because in my experience, because I'm out here in these streets, right? I don't necessarily need a wife that works, right? I don't need that because in addition to being a pilot, I also run a small business, right? So I don't necessarily need her income unless she just wants to ball out of control, which I believe in being excessive. I don't necessarily desire that lifestyle, so I'm not going to marry a materialistic woman. But with that said, my experience has been, well, you're going to have to help me with these kids. As Janelle stated earlier, and my thing is, okay, so if I'm gone 3 to 4 days a week working, and I come home and I'm paying the overwhelming majority of the bills, what more do you want from me? And what do you give me in return for that? And the answer that I've gotten is I'll bear your children, which is like, I can't bear my own children. So, okay, you got to do that. And I give you the walk. It's like, that's it.
But no, but
and a lot of modern women can't cook either. They can't even cook.
Yeah.
Well, but we want time though. We don't want you coming home just because you've made $10 million and you provide and you work. There's 7 days in a week. You work 4. On that 5th day, we don't want you to come home and lay on the couch. Now we have your attention. Now we want to be dated. Now we want you to be romantic.
Right.
We want you to be like. Not just check out because you're off and you're providing. You can't just say, I'm providing for you so I get to do whatever it is that I want to do. That's the whole modern twist. That's why I want traditional and modern, because I believe the traditional is the go home and be Ted Bundy. When you come home, you put your hand in
Al
your
Bundy,
pants.
you mean Al Bundy? Ted Bundy was a murderer. Al Bundy.
You can turn into Ted Bundy too.
Ted Bundy was a mass murderer. You talking about Al Bundy?
We know what you meant.
You come home and you put your hands in your pants and then you just get served. You're gonna get served because of
ramen noodles. No,
I'm gonna serve you. If I'm your wife, I'm gonna serve you. But I also expect you to be involved. I don't want you sitting there expecting not to do anything just because you provide.
Right.
I didn't say that I wouldn't do anything, but the fact that I'm required, and again, most of them require me to dating is. We're not talking about me dating my wife. Certainly, if you're in a marriage, in a relationship, you're going to have time for your wife. You're going to have time for your spouse. You know what I'm saying? But for the record, if I'm flying 4 days out of the week, that 5th day I need to come home and rest to recover from those days.
Yeah, for sure.
They were talking about that, but I'm just kind of picking. But the biggest pushback that I've gotten from quote unquote modern women is they want me to be contributing to the maintenance of the house in a significant way. And I push back on that because it's like, okay, you don't have to work, right? I've taken that burden off your shoulders. You really only have to be involved hands-on with the kids for those first 5 years. Then it becomes school age, and then it's more of a management thing instead of being hands-on. So it's like, where's the trade-off, right? If I give you the burden of not having to work, if I take that away, where's the trade-off? Because it's not even otherwise. It's not even otherwise.
Because you're talking to 3 women.
You can't have everything, and I'm talking to 3 women that seem to be very traditional. Except for Janelle,
and we all work,
in that,
and
twist.
we work and we're tired. But you're talking from the perspective of the woman isn't working. Yeah, she should have everything laid out. You're correct when you get home. But we're talking from the perspective of we're working full time. Like when you walk through that door, you better be ready to do something after you unwind. Like, you know.
But even for me, like I don't work all the time, right? So I call myself a housewife who happens to act, is what I say, right? So when my husband is finished with work, he is going to get a meal. The kids are going to be taken care of. He's not going to have to do anything when he comes home. He's not going to be required to do anything when he comes home, but he certainly has to be present, right? And he certainly has to still woo me and be romantic. He doesn't have to take out the trash necessarily. Well, he does have to take out the trash because I don't do trash, but he doesn't have to clean. If you're affording me that lifestyle, then I'm going to take care of it, whether I hire a cleaning person or do it myself. So it's twofold. If a woman is working too, then, you know, it's a trade-off. But if a woman is not working and you're affording her a lifestyle, you shouldn't have to do anything as far as work is concerned. But we're not just talking about work. We're talking about being present, right? When you come home, you're present. You're still wooing me. You're still romantic. You're still slapping my butt. You're still, you know, you're not just there recovering from.
Let's pick a little bit. Right? Right? Because we can't have everything, right?
Black Space, a safe space for our community.